today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
If you take my Jilly Juice, you can live to be 400. You can regrow limbs. You can reverse autism. You can regenerate organs.
Is it a miracle cure?
Do you believe if you had an arm cut off, you could drink this and it would grow back?
I do it.
Or an outrageous...
That's just ridiculous.
That's your opinion.
No, that's scientific fact.
Dangerous scam.
My face was drooping. I was slurring my words. I was just a minute from a stroke.
I didn't hurt you. You just didn't understand the protocol.
You are preying on desperate people. Some of them are dying.
Jillian says she wants me to try Jilly Juice. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. I've got something for you to look at today. The question is it real or one of the biggest scams ever? That's what we're digging into today with a potion that claims to possibly reverse cancer, AIDS, diabetes, and help you live, wait for it, until you're 400 years old. Now, Jillian says she created something called Jilly Juice, a combination of cabbage water and pink salt, which she claims can possibly reverse any disease and make you potentially regrow missing limbs. Yes, I said regrow missing limbs, regrow organs. Sounds impossible, right? Well, Karen and Mickey would agree. They tried Jilly Juice, but claim it gave them violent diarrhea, even caused both to suffer some form of minor stroke. But Jillian says these critics are just haters and fearmongers. Take a look.
I absolutely believe that my protocol can reverse the aging process. You can regrow limbs. You can reverse autism. You can regenerate organs. You could potentially reverse homosexuality. If you take my Jilly Juice, you can live to be 400. Jilly Juice is lacto-fermented, purple and green, cabbage, water, and salt. Because this is going to purge out everything. When you're detoxing and doing my protocol, you're going to be expelling all those parasites, and it's not going to be pretty. You're finally going to give your body the nutrition that it's been missing. When you break down the cabbage and the water, the minerals and the salt, your body's able to absorb it immediately. Jilly Juice is a way to have access to healing your body 100%. It is not a dangerous drink that is harming people. It's healthy to eat lots of salt, but it has to be the right kind of salt. The critics were furious that I was recommending my juice for babies. I would give my baby my juice along with coconut oil. There are no side effects taking Jilly Juice. You'll be pooping out large spongy stuff. I feel a poop coming on. As well as parasites. People actually can feel the parasites moving in their body. Someone that may cut their finger could definitely regrow their finger back, because why wouldn't cells regrow? Because your body is designed to have 5 digits. The people that should try the protocol are people who are willing to explore the possibility that they can reverse their cancer disease and chronic illness. I stand behind my juice because of what it does for me and what is possible for the rest of humanity.
Okay, Jillian. Wow.
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah, this would be like the biggest breakthrough in health management in the history of mankind.
Absolutely. Well, when you understand that the body is meant to have a purpose, and you have 11 different systems that have to cross-functionally communicate based upon the access to nutrition, then it's supposed to regenerate and keep you alive for however long unless you're hit by an aggressive external event. So when you're regenerating way more than you're degrading, then you could potentially live a very long time. So if you're meant to have 5 fingers and you had 1 cut off, why couldn't you regrow to the point of where it has your finger that was cut off regrow? Just like when you cut your finger or cut your arm.
Wait a minute, but why couldn't you that's a theoretical statement. You're saying you drink this
Yes.
concoction.
Basically, it's purified or pureed sauerkraut. That's really what it is. It's cabbage, water, and salt.
So let's look at your
Yeah.
recipe.
Okay.
Okay, 2 cups of cabbage, 2 cups of water, and a tablespoon of Himalayan pink salt.
Yes.
And so, but then you put the cabbage in the water and the salt, and you let it sit in the sun or ferment or
Yes,
something?
it's fermentation. It's probiotics. It's lactofermentation using pink Himalayan salt brine. And what it is I make it to where it's enough volume to where your body is able to take in that amount of nutrition.
Well, we made some.
Right. Okay, awesome.
And I've not tasted it.
You should.
No, thank you.
Okay.
So you ask people, this is 2.5 cups, and you want people to build up to drinking 1 gallon of this a day.
Right, because the thing is, people are very malnourished. What's going on is you're so immunocompromised, you're not absorbing all the nutrition. That's why you see mutation from people. And so when you actually flood your system, you're actually feeding your body what it wasn't ordinarily getting, because you're being undermined by parasites, you're being undermined by all the different toxins that are attacking you at the cellular level.
So here's the protocol. The Jilly juice, 2 cups a day, work up to 1 gallon.
Yes.
Diet, which is certain raw nuts, seeds, oils, certain
Fruits and
fruits,
vegetables, yes.
Certain meats. Healing management, prepare for pain, manage, change the juice amount, purge the mutations. So you acknowledge that they're going to feel really not great when they start drinking this.
What I'm acknowledging is that we're redefining the role of pain in our world, because what you do with pain right now is you squelch it with a pill, powder supplement, or opioid.
Okay,
right?
but you're saying they're not going to feel well when they drink this
They're
at
going to
first.
feel they're going to feel they're going to feel healing.
I assume you have pictures of people that have regrown arms and stuff.
Absolutely not, because I haven't gotten that far. I've only been doing this for a year.
So you don't have any proof that this regrows arms?
Proof is all relative. I've seen proof in smaller experiential
Well, that's
circumstances.
not relative. You have proof, you don't.
No, proof is relative.
Do you have
Because
any training?
Hold on a second.
Do you have any training?
I have enough training
What
by
is your
looking at
training?
the internet and actually taking information. Right. Which the internet actually.
Yeah, and this where people find this is on the internet, right? Do you have any
Medical system.
biochemical training?
No, absolutely not.
No medical education or degree.
No.
You have no medical license.
Nope.
You have no scientific studies.
Nope.
You have no clinical studies.
Nope.
Human studies, animal studies.
No. Do you want to see what they left behind? Do you see your friends and family dying of cancer disease and chronic illness? Is that what you want?
Your claims are that you can regrow organs and limbs.
Right. If you can heal a cut on your arm, that's your integumentary system, right? These are cells that are regrowing. So how can that not be a leap to go into regrowing your organs?
If I lose my arm in an accident, I can.
You can potentially, yes. If you
So
reinforce.
do I pour this on it or I drink it?
No, you drink it. You heal from the inside out.
I see.
But
So,
yeah.
so I drink this, and that arm is just going to regrow.
Well, here's the thing. I know you're mocking me, but I get it. It happens
No, I'm
over time.
asking because
Right.
I want to know what it is. Just what it is you say it'll regrow.
Because look,
I wanna
if
be
you
clear.
heal your cut on your arm, right? You see
I
the
didn't
skin.
ask you how. I'm just asking you.
Yes, you can regrow it potentially.
You say we can live to 400 years old.
Heck yes, yes.
And cancer, you can just reverse cancer, any kind of cancer.
Of course, cancer's a fungus.
If you drink this, Down syndrome, all the cells just completely reformat.
Absolutely, it's like
Facial features
growing pains.
Facial features change.
Absolutely, because your morphine, like when you are growing, your bones shift. It's painful.
And you say that this will reverse homosexuality?
Yes, because here's how we look at humanity. There's a male and there's a female, right? And then you have 11 different systems with the male and 11 different systems with the female. You have a reproductive system that gets mutations and it misfires signals and it creates anomalies, all right? Because how I look at life is procreation, life is also protection, vibrancy, health, productivity, energy. And if you have nothing of those and you happen to be homosexual, then you might as well just do this and see what it does to you.
That is just outrageous.
It is.
That is outrageous.
Of course it is. Because it's totally...
Whoa, hey, what are you doing? Get out of here. No, you're not going to try it. Out. Whoa.
Is everything okay?
Sorry.
Okay.
I move like a cat.
Yes, you do.
Can you take my Jilly juice?
Garfield the cat, but still a cat.
You probably took a bit of my Jilly juice without me knowing,
Yeah.
and that's what probably gave you that.
Well,
instinct.
I don't want to bury what I'm saying. I think you saying this about reversing homosexuality is outrageous and offensive.
It can be, yes.
Yeah.
It can be.
Not everyone agrees with Jillian's claims. I got to say,
Dr. Phil.
we'll meet one of Jillian's critics and find out why he says her claims are dangerous after the break.
If you drink about a gallon of this crap a day, you're gonna end up drinking 4 times the recommended healthy amount of salt. That can lead to confusion, dizziness, seizures, coma, strokes, even death. It's very simple. Jilly juice is a fraud.
And later, a scientific fact.
The doctor.
That's just ridiculous.
Right, we're different. We are.
No, we're not different.
Obviously we are, 'cause you don't agree.
No,
You're
I'm
coming.
right and you're wrong. That's
But we get it. We're on this show. Okay, I get it.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. She went from successful realtor
My business is a cuddle service.
to snuggling with strangers.
My husband doesn't know that I'm booking cuddle sessions.
What else were you doing?
I'm only cuddling.
But you are going to dinner with men,
If someone's going to give me $600 an hour,
so you're a paid escort.
I'm not an escort. I am not doing anything wrong.
If there's nothing wrong with it, why lie to your husband?
That's tomorrow.
Jeff Holiday is nobody to me. He's just somebody that wants to make money and found a place to do it. Jeff Holiday is an out-of-work YouTuber who knows that he can get hits and clicks and that this would be the perfect thing for him to make money off of. So I hope you're paying your taxes and maybe give me a cut of whatever you're making because you're obviously making a lot of money off me.
Well, Jillian says a group of online trolls who have never tried her Jilly juice are accusing her of trying to scam people and kill mothers and babies. Now, Jeff Holiday, a debunker of pseudoscience on YouTube, says Jillian is a liar and preys on desperate people. Take a look.
I'm here on the Dr. Phil show because I want to confront Jillian Epperly about the dangerous practices that she's spreading on the internet. She's not a doctor. She's not a scientist. She doesn't have the education to understand what she's saying. She's preying on vulnerable people looking for answers, looking for a way to heal themselves. It's very simple. Jilly juice is a fraud. If you follow Jillian's protocol and you drink about a gallon of this crap a day, you're going to end up drinking 4 times the recommended healthy amount of salt. Not only does this not do what she thinks it's supposed to do, but it is actually harmful because it's convincing people to give themselves sodium poisoning. That can lead to confusion, dizziness, seizures, coma, strokes, even death. Jillian believes that her juice has special properties because it fights candida. She believes that candida is a source of all disease, dysfunction, chronic illness, cancer. The overall goal with Jillian's protocol is very simple. You have to fight the candida by drinking the Jilly juice and increasing good bacteria. How you do this? Well, that's simple. You just have to have waterfalls, which is their clever name for violent diarrhea. There is no evidence to back this up. How having copious amounts of diarrhea is somehow going to cure your AIDS or your cancer makes no sense. She's even been on record lovingly calling this a poop cult. Jillian also believes that her juice can help you regrow your limbs, regrow your organs, and if you really want to top it off, she also believes it can cure the gay. Jillian needs to be stopped. This can get worse. People can really get hurt. People could die.
Jeff, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You've been tracking this and seeing what she says on the internet. As you think these claims are outrageous and dangerous.
I think they're insane. Absolutely insane. And I think you are actually a dangerous human being.
Okay, that's your opinion.
He raises a very good point. You have all of these claims, but you have no data. You have no basis for this. You have some people
Myself.
that, well, you've not regrown any limbs. You haven't regrown any. You're not 312 years old. You don't have.
Well, of course not. I'm not missing any limbs.
Well,
so
what basis do you have for making these claims? And the reason, and I agree with what he's saying about this being dangerous, there are desperate people in the world who just might suspend medical protocols, blindly hoping in desperation that somebody that tells them what they want to hear is going to save their life or that of a loved one, and forego responsible protocols and drink your cabbage juice and wind up in serious danger.
It's not just might. There have been.
Well,
there are lots of people. There are quite a few people who've foregone like their actual medical treatment.
Do you worry about that at all?
Here's the thing. I'm actually teaching people how to learn about their own body themselves to make their own decisions.
Do you feel responsible for the people who follow your protocol and they get hurt? Do you feel responsible?
No, I don't feel responsible. You know
why?
Why
Not?
Because
why?
they have the opportunity to read my information and understand. I have it all free. There is nothing hidden in my agenda here.
You are preying on vulnerable people.
Only by you who
These are desperate people. Some of them are dying. No,
they're
no.
Not dying.
This is reality.
No, it's not reality, because where's the substantiate that they're dying? Please substantiate that. Not a hospice patient.
Some of them have died.
Not a hospice patient who's already been dead, who's already basically dead by the system.
Let's take a look at what she says if someone wants to call into question what she says. Here's what Jillian has to say to new members of her group. Take a look.
The group is here to help support you. It's not a debate site. It's not trying to create doubt. If I see anyone doing that, they're out.
Okay, so if someone wants to have an open debate, if somebody wants to say, let's have an intellectual conversation about this, they're out.
They're not really asking for they're asking for a debate, because all my information is written. Right, all my information. I'm not here to convert anybody.
You're trying.
Yeah, because there are people that get it. There are people that get it, Jeff.
You are willfully trying to get people to brainwash.
I understand. That's fine.
Right.
That's okay. And that's not your intention, doctor. That's what I'm saying. I'm not a doctor. Here's the thing. I'm not a doctor.
No, you're not.
I do not have authority over your body, and I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be anyone's authority over their body.
Why are you giving people medical advice?
I'm not giving them medical advice.
Yes, you are.
How am I giving them?
Yes, you tell people not to take their antibiotic.
I have said take my protocol that basically is not because antibiotics will destroy your gut system. The reason why you have MRSA is because you have a bad gut system.
Your protocol makes them poop. How is that going to heal them, Jillian?
If you are irresponsibly encouraging people to do irresponsible things and an adverse reaction happens, you could certainly be held liable.
And you have
absolutely no basis whatsoever for the outrageous claims you're making.
Well, here's the thing. Then don't do it then. If you don't believe it, don't do it. No one's forcing you.
We'll meet two women who say Jilly Juice has been a miracle cure for them. Next.
Not only am I benefiting from Jilly Juice, but the rest of my family is also.
I have psoriasis. Jilly Juice has helped reduce 80% of my condition.
The Jilly Juice changed my life.
And later, do you believe that it can regenerate a limb? Do you believe that?
There's a possibility.
Really?
No.
You're giving this to your children?
Yes.
When I started researching Jillian, I looked at her group, I read her book, I poured through all of her videos, and I found a disturbing trend of what felt like a narcissistic cult leader.
What critics are saying about me is that I am like a cult, that I've brainwashed all of my followers into following me.
If you're a follower of Jillian and her protocol and you disagree, you're booted from the social media group.
To the haters that attack me, you can either join us or you can go and live your controlled lifespan and be sick for the rest of your life.
Well, Jeff says Jillian is like a cult leader, handing out an alleged cure-all juice that she created, a juice that some say causes problems. But Brigitte and Angie say since they started drinking Jilly Juice, it has had incredible healing benefits. Angie says she even gives the juice to her entire family, including her children. Take a look.
I I had chronic illnesses, and I was in and out of the hospitals and constantly being submitted in the ER. Since the Jilly Juice, I have not had to take any of the medication. It changed my life.
I am very happy with the protocol. It's my life. When I discovered that I have psoriasis, I decided to go to many different dermatologists. I spent about $800 a month on all the food, the supplements, in the hope that it will help. But I found it helps about 45 to 50% max. Jilly Juice has helped reduce 80% of my condition.
Not only am I benefiting from Jilly Juice, but the rest of my family is also. My son has autism and my daughter has ADHD. Since being on Jilly Juice, my son has been tested and he is in moderate autism. Prior to that, his symptoms were showing severe autism. For my daughter, her grades have gone up.
Jilly Juice has done an amazing thing for me. I feel happier, I feel younger, I feel much more energetic. Most of the people that haven't seen me for a while, the first thing they would say, wow, what have you done? I told them it's a very simple protocol. Drink Jilly Juice.
I am the healthiest I've ever been, thanks to the Jilly Juice.
Okay, thank you all for being here. So how long, Brigitte, have you been doing this?
I started the protocol on June 30th of 2017.
And did your body have a big reaction to it when you started?
Oh, definitely.
Did you have these waterfalls?
Oh, definitely.
It gives you diarrhea.
It's not diarrhea.
It's violent
not diarrhea. It's called waterfalls because it's different context, different intention, and different outcome.
Okay, explosive diarrhea.
Okay.
But it's not diarrhea.
You say that it's different because they don't lose electrolytes.
No, you don't. Because you're actually, the reason why you're having the waterfalls is because you're reinforcing your immune system to purge out what doesn't belong.
Well, you don't know that. That's just something you say. No, you don't know that. That's just something you say. You have no training. You have no basis to say that.
You see the reversal.
And when you say that you have diarrhea without losing electrolytes, that's just ridiculous.
Okay, that's your
just
opinion.
absolutely ridiculous.
But
No, it's not my opinion. That's scientific fact.
The doctor.
That's just ridiculous.
Right, we're different. We're different.
No, we're not different.
We are.
No, we're not different.
Obviously we are, because you don't agree.
No, we're not different.
So that
no, we're not different. I'm right and you're wrong. That's your...
We get it. We're on this show. Okay, I get it.
No, you don't. You have diarrhea. You lose electrolytes.
That's based on
you
the
get
doctor.
dehydrated.
That's on the doctor's scale. I'm not working from the doctor intention of keeping you sick.
No, you're not.
How exactly is violently peeing out your butt supposed to help your immune system?
Because your immune system is working because of that.
Either. I have a question. Have you tried it?
No.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, no.
No,
thank you.
That's the answer. You're not going to know unless
Angie,
you try
let me ask you something. Do you believe that if you had an arm cut off, you could drink this and it would just grow back?
I do. But we haven't seen that happen. But
no, I'm just asking you, do you believe her claims that it can regenerate a limb? Do you believe that?
There is a possibility. I believe in that.
No, there's not.
You're giving this to your children?
Yes.
And you have how many children?
I have 4 total.
How old?
They are 12, 6, 4, and 2.
Are you,
And you give it to all your children?
Yeah, I do.
Uh-huh. And how much are they drinking?
They're only drinking 15 milligrams a week.
Mm-hmm. And are they having waterfalls?
No, they don't.
So you're not giving them enough that it...
Exactly.
All right, coming up, we'll meet 2 women who say they got extremely ill after consuming Jilly Juice. We're going to find out what they say Jillian told them when they described their symptoms to her after the break.
My experience with Jilly Juice was horrible.
I talked to the doctor. They were able to definitively see the fact that there were 2 strokes. When I did finally talk to Jillian, her reaction was, "You didn't die." I said, "No, I didn't die. Am I supposed to die to prove your theory?"
When you do the Jilly Juice and you have detox symptoms, it includes diarrhea, chills, sometimes even fever.
There's a lot of salt and there's a lot of water that is induced into your body. That will cause a bit of a headache, a little bit of a nauseating feeling. My body is a little bit swollen.
When you are waterfalling, you are purging out, with some force, the things that do not belong in your body.
Well, Jillian, the creator of Jilly Juice, says part of the protocol after drinking the concoction is purging, which clears the gut of parasites and fungus. But Karen and Mickey say the purging process almost caused them to pass out.
Jillian targets the sick and the weak. She goes after people who are desperate for a cure.
I originally started doing the Jilly juice in order to do a proper detox. And whatever Jillian was saying made a lot of sense. How harmful could cabbage juice be?
My experience with Jilly juice was horrible. It tasted like swamp water.
I've always called it sewer water. The more I took of it, the longer I would be in the bathroom.
I had nothing but trouble. My kidneys hurt, my pancreas hurt. I had a headache that I could not get rid of.
Pain, cramps. I felt like there was a spike in my head.
My blood pressure was so high. My face was drooping. I was slurring my words. I wasn't going to have a stroke for Jillian.
My hand was numb. It was tingling. The fingers, I couldn't pry them apart. They were stuck together. I talked to the doctor, and he says, I think we need an MRI. They were able to definitively see the fact that there were 2 strokes. When I went to my cardiologist, he was the one that said, yes, dehydration happens with that much salt. When I did finally talk to Jillian, I was just trying to warn her, like, you really need to make sure you protect yourself. Her reaction was, well, you don't have to worry about that. I've got plenty of lawyers. And she says, you were supposed to keep drinking the juice. That was just a symptom. You didn't die. I said, no, I didn't die. Am I supposed to die to prove your theory?
Well, ladies, thank you for being here. Anything you want to respond to that you've heard so far?
Okay, you guys had positive results. I think that's absolutely fantastic, and I applaud you, and I think that's wonderful. But you need to take responsibility for the people you're hurting instead of kicking them out, telling them they're wrong, telling us we did something wrong, and it's our fault. It's not our fault. It's your fault because you lied to us.
Okay, so substantiate the lie that was told.
That it can't hurt anyone, and it certainly could never kill you.
Well, here's the thing, honey. Did you read all my files?
Don't call me honey.
Yeah. Did you read all my
Don't
files?
call me honey.
Did you read all my files in the group?
Yes, and I listened to those nauseating videos
for
hours.
So your intention was really to reinforce your belief system, but you tried this with a Hail Mary without really understanding.
Not a Hail Mary at all.
It was a Hail Mary to you.
Every day I brew.
I don't even remember even interacting with you.
That's right, you don't.
Yeah.
Tell me why you started this to begin with.
I have really bad fibromyalgia, and the doctors have tried several things, and they don't work at all. And there'll be days I can't get out of bed.
And so when you started ingesting this, it was difficult.
Oh, horribly difficult.
And what happened?
The first time, I threw up. It took a while to sip at it.
Did it look like this?
Yeah, unfortunately.
And then what started happening that caused you to stop?
The first symptoms were that there's this bone-chilling cold. The headaches, of course, the waterfalls, which are just horrible diarrhea, rashes, this headache that would come on, and I couldn't think straight. I wasn't able to communicate properly for sometimes half a day.
And did you ask about this? Did you contact Jillian?
Oh, definitely.
And what was the response?
We were told those were healing symptoms. You're doing fantastic. Keep it up. You're gonna get through this, and everything will be fine. It can't hurt you.
Why did you ultimately stop?
I ultimately stopped because one afternoon I was sitting on the sofa. Sorry. And I was talking to my husband on the phone, and I was slurring my words so bad. And he said, take your blood pressure. And I took my blood pressure, and it was 205 over 185. And I knew I was just a minute from a stroke. My face was drooping. I was slurring my words.
There's quite a concentration of salt in this, as you know, because the recipe calls for a tablespoon of salt. And if we look, the recommended daily allowance of salt is 1,500 to 2,300 milligrams, or 3/4 to 1 teaspoon. And the daily salt intake with 1 gallon of Jilly juice is 6.4 tablespoons in a gallon, which is 35,328 milligrams in a gallon of Jilly juice, which is 23.5 times the recommended daily allowance.
Who recommends those daily allowances? Who substantiates that?
So
Right, my point exactly.
It can lead to coma, it can lead to stroke, it can lead to death.
So basically, all those symptoms reinforced your belief system that you're basically going to die from my protocol. So you basically just were like, you're confirming your own belief system. You really didn't understand my protocol. If you did,
Why
you
is it
wouldn't.
all about you?
How dare you?
Because it is a protocol that you guys came to me.
Jillian says she wants me to try Jilly Juice.
Yes, Dr. Phil.
We'll find out what she says it will do for me next.
Yes. I believe that my protocol can reverse Dr. Phil's type 2 diabetes as well as regrow his hair. And of course, drop a few pounds. I'm convinced if he is open to believing it and doing it, yes. But if he is not open, then I can't guarantee anything.
Jillian claims that Jilly Juice would not only reverse my type 2 diabetes, but will also make my hair grow back. So what medical proof does she have that this Jilly Juice will do any of those things? Well, normally we would test the juice by having a volunteer drink it, but due to the health risk based on the medical advice that we received, I'm not willing to put anyone's health at risk, including my own.
Of course.
When you consume this much salt, just that alone.
It's table salt. It's the difference, Dr. Phil.
How can salt be any different? Salt is a base mineral.
Not necessarily, because the table salt has the synthetic iodine, and it doesn't have, and it's bleached out of the minerals. And then you have your mineral. Hold on, you have 86 plus 82 minerals in the mineral.
Okay, hold on. I'd like to hear from you. What was your experience?
Honestly, I'm thinking back now, why in the world did I ever do this? I'm not a stupid person. And I got to 2 quarts. That was as much as I could do. When I finally got to the 2 quarts, that one day, the first day I did it, the next day I woke up with a dead hand. And I thought, now, what, did I just sleep wrong? What's going on? And this is crawling up my arm over the next few days. By this time, I'd talked to one of her moderators. The moderator said, well, if it's not, why don't you back off on the juice and see what happens? If it goes away, it's just a healing symptom. Well, it didn't go away. It got worse. MRIs proved that I had had 2 strokes. And I called Jillian. Again, in my mind, I thought, well, maybe I did something wrong, or I don't know what could have happened. And I told her, I called her up and I asked her, I said, I told her, I said, I had 2 strokes.
I never got that phone call. You never called me. I actually called you. You talked to my people. I never actually...
I talked to you directly.
I called you asking what was going on because you were talking to my mods. I called you to find out what was going on with you because you were talking about stuff. So you didn't call. You didn't reach out to me. I reached out to you.
I did call you.
No, you didn't call me.
I did.
Okay,
I called you back.
Go ahead with your story.
Anyway.
Call me back.
And she was very rude to me. How do you know you had strokes? She says to me. Well, my doctors told me I had strokes. And you believed them? She said to me. Yeah, I do. I did believe them because they showed me these reports from the MRIs, specialists in the neurological field. I was very comfortable with the diagnosis. I knew what happened.
Well, here's what Jillian posted online after Karen confronted her on the phone.
Lady, she went to the hospital because she had little mini strokes and her arm was hurting. And the doctor said this, and that, and he probably just corroborated with her because, these hospitals want money. So when you're dealing with healing symptoms, you're going to be dealing with stuff that that may be new, that you have never, ever dealt with before because you've just addressed a future trigger.
Wow.
I didn't hurt you. You just didn't understand the protocol. And when you take something in your mouth, you're basically saying that you understand
All
what
right, coming
the whole
up, we'll
protocol's
meet a
about.
doctor who says there is absolutely a risk for an individual ingesting as much salt as the recipe for Jilly Juice demands. Find out what she has to say about Jilly Juice after the break. And yes, she is a doctor. Well, Karen says Jilly Juice caused her to suffer 2 strokes, but when she complained, Jillian called her a fearmonger and blocked her from the online group. Jillian says some people just have low thresholds, and if they would stick it out, they will see their illnesses reversed. Is there any merit to Jillian's claims? Well,
Right there.
Dr. Udeem says an acute ingesting of that degree of sodium can put an individual at very high risk for a stroke. Dr. Udeem, thank you for being here. This is the stuff. Would you like to take a drink?
Thank you.
No thanks?
I'll pass.
Okay. What do you think about these claims?
The claims obviously are outrageous, but the harms are even more concerning. Regardless of whether using Himalayan salt or any other kind of salt, the mineral content may be different, but the amount of sodium is 40%. It is just the same. And it is the sodium that we are worried about in this concoction. That amount of sodium in 1 cup, as you mentioned earlier, is 2 to 3 times what the daily allotment is for a normal individual. If an individual has risk factors like hypertension or kidney disease, then it's even 4 to 5 times the recommended amount. So certainly that amount of sodium ingestion can cause a stroke.
And
No doubt about
that's
it.
in 1 cup, right?
Absolutely.
And the recommendation is to get up to drinking 16 cups.
What's the outcome
And the
of a
second
low sodium
point, to your
diet?
point, is that that amount of sodium ingestion can also result in other acute problems. Sudden consumption of that degree of sodium can cause hemorrhaging in the brain, seizures, respiratory distress, organ dysfunction, so it's not to be taken lightly. The second point is that these waterfalls are diarrhea. The point that you don't lose electrolytes in diarrhea is completely false.
It's not diarrhea.
The loss of electrolytes can cause a range of symptoms that can be minor, like muscle cramps, but they can cause severe side effects like sudden cardiac death because your heart muscle does not have the electrolytes it needs in order to pump.
This claim about living 400 years, reasonable or outrageous claim?
I mean, outrageous.
How about regrowing limbs and organs?
Yeah, I mean, clearly regenerating organs and limbs is a very complicated process. To suggest that a juice that doesn't even have the building blocks, calcium, cartilage, I mean, there are nutrients that are required to regrow bone, for example. This juice does not even have the building blocks for that growth, much less the mechanism to allow for that to happen.
How about this reversing autism and ADHD?
You would know as well as I, these are neurodegenerative conditions that are multifaceted and multifactorial. Look, the medical community does not pretend to have all the answers.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. Right here, case in point, you have all the answers.
You know, I think it's clear that unfortunately our level and body of information has limitations. We don't have all the answers. But one thing that is certain is that a particular concoction cannot change the very complicated neurodevelopmental issues that result in these diseases.
You don't believe it. You know why? Because it's impacting your business model.
Okay.
But again, beliefs don't dictate how we practice medicine.
Karen and Mickey say they want to know how to stop Jillian from encouraging people to drink Jilly juice. I'll tell you what I think about all this when we come back. You two say that you've had benefits from this.
That is correct.
You've heard what Dr. Udeem says from UCLA and Cedars-Sinai.
Yeah.
And I think you would agree she's a very competent physician, and she calls into question a lot of these claims and also points out some real danger with regard to the salt consumption. And all I can say is you've been warned.
Yes.
To you, I would say your children don't get to make a choice.
Yes, absolutely.
And I would really, really, really caution you that whatever you may choose to believe for yourself, if you're giving this to your children, really rethink that, because I think that's very dangerous. One of the conditions of parenting, and I can tell you this having been trained as a forensic psychologist, is to provide them appropriate medical care and safety. And I think giving them something that there are volumes and volumes, fill warehouses full of information that says this is not in their best interest. And Jeff, thank you for monitoring this. And look, there was a time in our history that we talked about the Wild Wild West. Now we're talking about the Wild Wild Web. And when you read something on the internet, just because it's out there doesn't mean it's right, because there is absolutely no control over what somebody says. What you've heard today, you can make up your own mind about it. I've pointed out that this lady has absolutely no training whatsoever in medicine, the medical sciences, biochemistry, neuroanatomy, nothing whatsoever. She puts cabbage in water and adds a bunch of salt and says this will grow your limbs. And if you want to believe that, proceed at your own peril. But the lesson here is you really need to consider what you're looking at on the internet. Just because it's there doesn't mean it's right. Proceed with caution.
Absolutely.
I want to thank my guest today. A special thanks to Dr. Udeem. Thank you for taking the time away from your practice to come and do this. We'll see you next time. All right, guys, thanks.